Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thank you guys so much for joining us on today's video. Listen, man, you may have some flavors. Everyone has a flavor. Whether it's Elvis, or whether it was the Stones, or whether it was Led Zeppelin, or whether it was a Pearl Jam, who started the whole rock and roll thing. You probably still have your opinion on who started the muscle car thing, the pony car thing. So here, let's look at this car for a second. 1965, actually 64 and a half, this car comes out, right? Stuns the world. They sell 500,000 of these things a year. 500,000, right? The early ones are called the 64 and a half. 65 was a great year for these cars as well. And this one here, the 65s are kind of moving along. Now the 66 comes out with a couple of improvements, but still looks similar to the 65 and is a great car. And the reason I'm waxing philosophically about this is I envision you wheeling this thing down the road, your hair all messy. That's why I got high-speed gel in my hair today, because it's up to 120 miles an hour. Not that I've ever driven 120, but if I did, this gel is appropriate for that task. All right, so as we look around this car, one of the things I love to do, and when I don't do it, well, when I do it, I get beat up all in the videos. Hey man, why do you keep saying the same thing about the paint? And then when I don't do it, why didn't you say something about the paint? So you know what? I don't care anymore. Bash all you want. The paint's important. I think it is, because when you go to a car show or take the family out or open your garage door or something like that, you want people to go, wow, that is beautiful. And when you walk into the showroom here and you see these cars here, no one's ever said, wow, man, what a dump. You come here and they go, wow, this is really nice. This is why. Come on up and I'll show you. All right, so look at that. Candy apple red paint. And it's not just you can see the reflection. What you should be able to see is how defined the words are. The shinier the paint is, the better this is. Even on a new car, it's not going to have the definition of this, because this is wet sanded, buffed, and show detailed and waxed for you so that you can take it out there. So the idea behind this whole thing is that you get in this car and you go for a drive when you get it. You don't get it home and have to take it to your shop and have the gas tank replaced, or the gauge wired, or a turn signal that doesn't work, or the brakes adjust, or whatever. We've done most of that stuff for you, so all you need to do is find whoever it is you want to go for a ride in, put the key in, rolling down the road. All right, so styling for 66, man. Look at this. I feel like that I'm almost saying negative things about the car by getting involved in the car. It's just a great looking car. It just is. It has great lines. This is a beautiful restoration, because you want to look for things like the gaps in these doors. Look how nice this gap is. A lot of times people will say, wow, that's a great looking car, but they don't really know why it's a great looking car. First off, the color combination. The fact of the matter is that this stripe here matches the interior, and it has the correct boot on it. It doesn't have a white boot, a red boot, or a blue boot, all right? And it's just enough on the car without being overly scooped and things like that. It's an understated, elegant muscle car that you could drive to your law firm, right? You could also take to a drag race too. All right, let's keep rolling around, because I like people to see the style, circa 1966, all right? This has got the upgraded GT tips on it. We just washed it, so it's a little bit shiny. We're making sure that's all nicely waxed and things like that, all right? Gas cap there, that's new. And you say, well, what is the big deal about a new gas cap? You're right, who cares about that? But what I care about is this. I care about that the paint is inside the Ford and the Mustang, because you're gonna get a car, maybe you didn't check out the video, maybe they didn't give you a video, right? And it's gonna be missing that, but that's indication of the rest of the stuff that's faded as well. This doesn't just fade on its own, right? All the other stuff goes with it. So all this stuff's been replaced on this car, and I think that's one of the things I love so much about it. All right, so we walk around, we got the road wheels with BF Goodrich radial TAs if you want to. That typically would have been a year for Redline tires, which would look really great on this car, and we can upgrade those to this car if you wanted to. Or some people love the white letters, and that's why I left it on the car. All right, cool, so let's check this out. So this is important. The reason it's important is not that you're gonna spend time working under here, because you shouldn't need to. If I've sent it to you, you should be able to just get in it and go for a drive, all right? I won't be that way forever, but neither will I. All right, so come on up here and let's just check this out. Some important things to look for. Power steering. These cars didn't come standard with power steering, man, they didn't. And some cars are rough to drive without power steering. This car fortunately has some nice features like that. 289 V8 with the 4-barrel upgrade, so you got good power in this car, right? Original style radiator and little detail stuff, so if you wanted to go to a car show, you could, like the washer bag is there, and the battery topper is here, and the right chrome valve covers are on there. So the 65 engine would have been black, 66 the engine became blue, right? Little stuff like that you need to know about, and you may already know that, but I just like to make sure that when you do pop the hood, all that little stuff is there, all right? So the detail is here. Also some things too, like horns. Just has dual horns, and you say, well, are you kidding me? This is a restoration. Why? What does it matter about dual horns? Well, 9 out of 10 cars that come here don't have any horns at all. And so we make sure that at least you have one horn. Here we wanted to double it up, so in case maybe you've had a bad day at work, you can lay on it twice as loud, okay? All right, shall we check out the trunk, because that is actually a cool piece of going to a car show, and I'll show you why. All right. Do you hear that? Hold on a second. That right there is nice. All right, so the tartan mat is here, right? A spare tire with a matching setup like the rest of the car. And you say, well, of course it has a spare tire in it. No, don't say of course it has a spare tire, because 99% of the cars don't have a spare tire. This is a nice restoration, man. This only has 1,900 miles a year since it was restored, all right? Very low mileage on it since the restoration, and everything is held up really, really nicely. Even the trim and bezels here, the bumpers, the tips, all that good stuff. The inside here, that's just done well and looks good. My point about the car show was, you might want to open the hood and the trunk while you're there, and this makes it look really nice, all right? Or you might want to fill this up with ice and make it a giant cooler and come back in a week. Who knows? You do whatever you want to be your car. All right, so come on and join me in here for a second, because this is where you're going to spend most of your time. You're going to be in here, all right? This is what we might refer to as the therapy room. You say, well, therapy room, what are you, some kind of freak? Yeah, I am some kind of freak, but hear me out for a second. Being the therapy room is this. On a Friday, right, you take this to work, and you jump in it at Friday at, say, whatever time it is you can get out of work, whatever time you can tell your boss, or you might be the boss, that you're just rolling on out to go get some cigarettes. You decide to take up smoking, finally, all right? And you call whoever it is that you're going home, and you say, listen, I'm gonna be there in a little bit, and I'll see you then. And then you shut the phone off. I know, it sounds crazy. Go all the way from vibrate, right, to off. Insane, and you may need some extra therapy even after that. But this part is the therapeutic part. You get in the car and you go for a drive, man. You put on some of your music, right? And the exhaust, the dual exhaust is out the back. And look how your arm fits perfectly, hooked onto the wheel, and you just roll on down the road. So this is what the whole experience is about. And it makes a rumble that a new car can never make, all right? With this custom console, cup holders here, I'm not suggesting you put anything in here that would have something in the cups that would not be appropriate, but those are there in case you decide to. Matching mats. And here's a little stumbling about restoration. We looked at all the chrome and stainless and detail under the hood and what have you, but little stuff like the footwell lighting. I don't know if you can see that or not, but like the footwell lighting working, that's a big deal. You say, well, you gotta be kidding me. We're basing a whole car on footwell lighting? No, not the whole car, but what we are saying is this. But somebody's restored the car and they went to the extra effort to make this work 50 years later. And that's the thing you should be looking for. The turn signals work, the gauges work. This is an upgraded radio, but it's also digital too, but it looks old school, so you can plug in an iPod and what have you, right? If you wanted to, we could put an original style radio in here and actually put a super modern radio with a Bluetooth and that you can stream from your phone, your music. You can take a phone call, you can do whatever. I don't condone that, but you can do that if you wanted to, all right? Anyway, at the end of the day, it's one great looking interior. It holds 2 people up front and 2 more people in back comfortably. We can actually put 3 sets of seat belts in the back. We have 3 kids, and nothing is better than taking an old school muscle car out with the kids who have no idea what this thing is, a window crank. They have no idea what a window crank is. And then check this out. This is the part a lot of people forget. Look at this, man. Vent windows. You can't get vent windows anymore. We're going back in time. Leave it to be.